Hi, folks. John Hecker here again, the pro at Berkeley Country Club in Rochester, New York. Today I'm going to take you through a practice session Jordan Spieth had on Tuesday of the LA Open last week. Somebody did a nice job here videoing him, starting with his wedges, and then he worked through his bag, hitting shots. I thought I'd start you off with a couple of the things that stand out right away. You can see that he's using what they call a TrackMan. I've sort of highlighted it there. TrackMan is a device that will measure how far your ball is being struck. It also gives a series of other data, probably more on full swing, with a club with a little bit less loft they might use to figure out why his ball is going where. But my guess is they're using this right now to determine how far the balls are being struck. This was an interesting part early in the session. This is Bo Hostler, who was a teammate of Jordan Spieth at Texas. And I thought it was interesting that Jordan basically ignored him. But, you know, Jordan's at work here, basically. He's grinding. I think he might have just said, hey there, and then he went on and did his own thing. And my guess is the players have to do that because people otherwise are sort of roaming the range looking for some of their time. And, you know, he's basically going to spend an hour here. He's going to hit 101 shots. And during that time, you know, he's going to use his time the best he can. So Jordan's hitting along here. He actually hit 37 shots with this particular club, which I thought was kind of interesting. He's noted as one of the best wedge players on tour, if not the best. And then a lot of his time was spent hitting this. So my guess is he's dialing in his yardages, and McCormick's giving him feedback here on how far the ball is going. That would be my guess. That was one of the drills that McCormick likes to do, his coach there, Conrad McCormick. So he's probably just saying, hey, look, you know, you hit that 64, let's hit 167. That would be my guess of what they're doing. I wanted to give you a rundown of some of the other clubs that he hit because we won't have time to go through all those. So with his next wedge, he actually hit 6 shots, which I'm guessing would be something like a 54-degree wedge. And then the following wedge, he hit 8 shots, maybe a 50-degree wedge. Then he went to what looked like a 9-iron. He hit 7 shots with that. 7-iron, he hit 9 shots. 5-iron, he hit 6 shots. A 4-iron, he hit 10 shots. He went back to a wedge and hit 3 shots. Sometimes before they hit their longest clubs, they'll go back to a shorter club to get rhythm. Because, you know, a wedge, you're not trying to hit as far. But that's not something that's uncommon then. So he hit his 3-wood, and I'm gonna dive into that now. Actually, after I show you this one. So this is a close-up. You'll see how a tour player hits the ball in the ground. Looks like that's Bermuda grass he's hitting off there, kicking it up there. Gets a little messy there. So now this is him hitting a 3-wood. And at this point, you can see Conrad McCormick and him are doing a little more than just going over distance. They're watching the flight of that shot. And my guess is they're trying to figure out, you know, why it's going where it is and how that's going to work as far as playing the course. He did hit 5 3-woods. You can see he teed it up there, which I thought was interesting. So he's either assuming he's going to be hitting them off some tees, which is probably true. And then he's also, maybe it's the fairways the lies are perfect, so he just wants to make sure he's emulating a perfect lie out there. I love watching his waggle there, how he kind of works the club head back up the shaft plane. You know, you don't go through your whole routine, I guess, at this point. It's so funny watching his body motion there. I think we all do that. But he's getting feedback, and you'll see that they'll chat about it. And then finally, he'll go to his driver, and he hits 7 drivers here, which is a little bit odd. I would think out of 101 clubs, you'd hit more than 7, but he must have been feeling pretty good about how his driver was going, and he must have felt like he really needed to get his wedge game in shape. He had an interesting tournament. If you look back on it, he shot 64 the first round, and then actually 81 the last round. So he had kind of a mixture there, and so McCormick's adjusted. You can see that's actually a pretty lightweight machine for about $25,000. That machine is easy to move. Now he is hitting his own balls, so he's getting an accurate read. So I know most of you know this, but the tour players have their own balls there, and the people picking the range will sort them. And if Jordan Spieth, whichever Titleist ball he hits, He's got a bag of the same balls, so he's getting accurate reads on how far the ball's going. But anyway, this is how a tour player does a practice session. I'm sure it included going to the range or going to the pitching area and hit some shots there, as well as using some putting. But as far as ball striking, my guess is this is normal for him, hitting an hour. I would guess before a tournament he might hit a little bit less, but my guess is an hour is pretty normal. And then I'm sure he played the golf course. So anyway, I hope this can help you know how to work on your game, and hope to see you out in the course soon.